Hello,
Hey,
everybody. Thank you, dog. It's Friday. Yay.
Happy TDIF, everyone.
Woohoo. Yay. Let's celebrate. It's Friday. Super excited. It's our favorite day of the week. And mostly because of you guys, right? Guys and gals out there. All you dog lovers, dog moms, dog dads. If you know of any that might be interested, sprinkle the love. We're getting ready for a really fun firecrackery craft episode today, and can't wait to show you. If you don't know who we are, I'm Patty Quinn, and I'm here with Hillary Buchholz.
Hello, everybody.
I love her shirt. She's all decorated for the 4th of July.
Everyone.
Yeah, that's so sweet. We have lots of fun T-shirts and tote bags and blankets and all kinds of good stuff in our shop. We have all kinds of videos and tutorials in our playlists. So like, subscribe, follow, all those good things. It really does help us out a lot. And today's craft is, we're calling it a Patriotic Pup Lovers Wreath. And it's kind of fun because it's kind of got that little firecrackery look and feel to it. So really super excited to put this one together. Of course, it's a Dollar Tree DIY. We do quite a few of those, not all of them, but a lot of them are inspired from our shopping trips at Dollar Tree. It's
definitely one of the best places to get a wreath form. They're, obviously you can't really beat the prices, and they have some really fun shapes and things. So
they're getting
every
more.
time, every time you go to Dollar Tree, there's something new that you can kind of check out.
I saw an anchor yesterday when I went. I mean, like, it's crazy. They've got really fun shapes. And I just got to thinking, how people have those maps of like the United States or the world of all the places they've traveled? I need stick pins for all the Dollar Trees I've been to. Because I seem to go, like, wherever I travel, I go to a Dollar Tree just to see, because they all have different things. But anyway, just maybe that's another craft for another day. But anyway, so today we're going to start with a wreath form that in the shape of a heart for pup lovers, right? And then the next thing you'll need is some nautical rope. And we used the chunky kind. Actually, I didn't realize it, but there are two kinds. So I have another label from a skinnier version. There's one that's, and Hillary has different labels. These are all Dollar Tree, but one of them will say it's 6.8 feet long, and another one will say that it's 11.1 feet long. So one of them's thicker, one of them's thinner. I kind of liked the chunkier yarn, but the thinner yarn, the one that's not as fat, I think is actually longer. So you might only need 2 of those. And if you get the chunkier yarn, you'll need 3 of those to wrap the heart. And so Hillary's got a video to show, because it does take a little bit of time, and there's some extra little kind of tips and tricks to kind of work your way around the heart that we'll talk about when the video shows.
So you can see we're kind of wrapping around those first 2 rungs of the heart. So we're leaving that outside rung all the way empty. And this is just on the straight part. So we're wrapping that direction. Once we get to that kind of curve, there's a little bit slightly different technique that we'll chat about.
So you work all the way up to that section. There's kind of a little bar in the midway there. And once you reach that bar,
then you're going to start doing this technique, which is you just wrap around the middle rung and then all the way around the inner rung again. So you can kind of see as I'm going through here.
So middle rung, then both inner rung, 2 inner rungs.
Yeah.
And then the middle rung only, and then 2 the 2 inner rungs.
And this helps you so that you can actually follow that curve of the heart there.
Right.
So that's the reason why we changed the technique here.
Right. Otherwise it gets too thick, and you can't wrap it around. And then once you finish that section, again, you get to that little bar, then you just do what you did at the beginning where you're wrapping the 2 inner rungs.
Yep.
So pretty simple technique, but you just kind of have to watch what where you are on the wreath and what technique to use. And you may need to splice your rope, kind of run out of rope, right? And you might need to hot glue it in a section, and then work your way around. What I ended up doing is I had 2 fatter ropes that actually made it around that curve. But then that inner point that at the top, I ended up using, I had the thinner rope. That's how I found out there was a thick and a thin. I used a thinner rope at the top because that's what I had. So it doesn't matter where it stops and starts. Just kind of use that technique to complete the wreath form on the inside.
And I do think it's a little bit easier to start and stop at the bar. So if you're getting halfway around that curved part, I would say start with a new rope and work your way around the curve through around to the other curve, and then you can kind of finish off the next straight part. You can really make it work however you want. And the nice thing about this is you're not gluing all the way throughout as you're doing it. You're really just wrapping. So you can unwrap it if you find like, oh, I'm not getting to the part that I wanted or things like that. You can unwrap it and wind it around again too.
Yeah, which I ended up doing a couple times just because I wanted to make sure I made it to like one of those middle or one of those center bar kind of things, section bars.
Yep.
So, all right. So then the next step that we're going to do is you're going to flip your wreath over on the back, and we're going to cut out fabric. Just get some patriotic colors, red, white, and blue. And of course, if they're doggy themed, that helps. Yeah. And so Hillary's going to start with kind of a red and white check, which I love. I mean, it just makes that really rustic country feel, which is really kind of fun with the rope. And then I've got this blue and white paw print with the stars. Did you end up using this one too?
I do. Hillary? Yep. I use that one as well. And this layer, so the fabrics that we're choosing, although we're choosing different ones, this is going to be your main kind of fabric. So this will be the majority of the color that'll be on the wreath. So
exactly. And so what you're going to do is you're going to cut a pile. I have a little bit left because we'll show you how this technique works. But you're going to cut 6-inch strips. And then you're going to want to make little dovetails on the end. You can see it probably better in Hillary's than mine. But yeah, you just fold it together.
Fold it and clip here. And we're using pinking shears just to kind of, it helps with that sort of Americana, sort of rustic look.
Those little zigzag scissors, if you're not familiar with them. Yeah. Those work great. All right. So then you get a pile of those. I would say, I don't even remember how many. You just work your way around the wreath, and it'll depend on how much you're kind of bunching them up together. But then what you're going to do is, I'm just going to show you real quick on this empty one. You're going to, so these inner 2 rungs are now covered in rope, and you're going to fold it in half. Fold it in half. You're going to scrunch up the bottom. And then you're going to glue that on the back of the rope so that the points are, the pointy dovetails are facing out. And here we'll show you what that looks like. So we did quite a bit of it because it takes a little bit of time to do.
Yeah.
So you can see. And you glue about halfway across the rope. And you want those points sticking out. And then once you're done going all the way around, gluing halfway down, then you're going to flip the wreath over and you're going to poke all those ends up over that outer ring so that they're now on the top of the wreath all the way around.
And you overlap them a little bit too. So we'll kind of we've got a little section here left to do. So
we'll show you. So fold it in half, scrunch it up. And then glue it to the top. And it goes pretty quickly once you have everything cut out. And on mine, it looks like it kind of covers like 2 rungs of the rope. So you can kind of, if you need to count how many to cut out.
And on mine, I did notice, like, just depending on where the bars end up and things like that, I did go back after I had flipped it over and tucked the little pieces of fabric across. I went back and added a piece where it just, because of where the bar was at, it left kind of an empty little hole. So
space.
I just,
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
can definitely go back in and add where you need to.
Yeah, fill it in.
So just working around this
Oh,
little
yeah.
edge here.
And I love this because you can really use, I mean, we're doing this obviously for 4th of July or Memorial Day or Labor Day or just for summer, really.
Yep.
But you can pick any colors that you want with this technique to match your decor and all of that. You can match a kid's room or your living room, your family room area. All right. So again, just gluing about halfway up the rope, and you can see how it's now on. Got my little glue strings. It's now on the top. When you're done, you just tuck all of that in so that it's facing the front of the wreath. And you could use ribbon instead of fabric if you wanted to.
Yep.
If you have some really pretty ribbons, this would work. It would be a little stiffer, you know, a little pointier. I like using the fabric on this layer because there is a lot of tucking and
yeah, it's nice and pliable, so you can get it where you need it.
Yeah, so. Yeah, you can move it.
But both would work for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Skyla, how you doing today? All right. Getting ready for the weekend.
All right.
And then when we're done with this layer, then you probably can see we've got another layer that we're going to do, and that's going to be in burlap ribbon. Oh, that's cute. I just love that. Reminds me of like a picnic table or a...
It's very summery to me.
Yeah.
Like the red and white check is real summery.
Yeah. Love that.
So you just tuck those in through and then.
That's so pretty. It's amazing the difference that, you know, the color makes, right? So pretty. And I love that we get to do different ones. This is fun. Okay, so then with the wreath turned over again so you're looking at the back, we're going to kind of do the same thing, but this time we're going to use some burlap ribbon. We got this at Walmart. It's 2.5 inches wide. It's wired, which if you get the wired, it helps keep it nice and stiff and pointy for kind of giving the firecracker effect.
Yeah, I definitely think this is where, if I was to say, this is where you probably need something wired on the outside. And I would say the 2.5 inches is nice because it doesn't take, like, it still takes quite a bit of the ribbon. So if you're using a smaller ribbon, it would take quite a while to get it to fill out and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it goes faster with the fatter ribbon.
Yep.
And you don't need as much of it, maybe as many spools. So we're going to kind of do the same thing, but now we actually, instead of 6 inches, we're going to cut them 5 inches. We're going to fold them in half or give them the little dovetails. We're going to fold them in half and we're going to tuck them around the outside rung that is empty. Ours we've started it, but it's empty. And then you can kind of scrunch it together or scrunch it together first before you put it on. Sometimes that's easier. Since it's stiff.
And I can't decide. I was going back and forth on gluing first or gluing after I get it around. Like I definitely did a bit of both. So.
And then again, just overlap the edge a little bit. And then watch your fingers when you're gluing because it's got holes in it. The burlap has holes. And I kind of lift it up and smush it, look at it from the front, see what it looks like when I'm gluing, just to make sure it looks the way I want it to. And we'll keep going. Is anybody else making wreaths for 4th of July?
Yeah, we have some fun ones coming up. So like we love 4th of July is one of my absolute favorite holidays. So this one is one I love doing the 4th of July decor for. So,
and we've done some fun ones in the past too, and fun dog treats for the 4th of July. Some frozen popsicles. It's really cute. Can't believe 4th of July is gonna be here before
I know,
we know it.
It feels like somehow summer is flying by already.
It is. It is. And these would be great to make for, a neighbor gift or a welcome home, welcome gift. Welcome to the neighborhood And I like that they're doggy themed, but it's not like
it's not over the top.
Yeah.
And you could also, I'll kind of show it with mine. So mine doesn't really have any dog themed yet because it's just that red and white check, and I'm using the dog theme on our next section. But you could, really switch up this next one for, ribbon or all kinds of different things that'll work for you.
Yeah.
For our little accent pieces. So I'm kind of slow, so I apologize.
No, that's okay. And this is part of why we got the wreath started already. You kind of have to hold the burlap in place to let it glue, while it dries, to let it let the glue dry and adhere. So it takes a little bit of time. It's super easy to do. This is definitely a kid-friendly craft if they're comfortable using a glue gun. Super easy.
And they do have those little silicone like finger protector things at Dollar Tree too. So I don't have any, and I burn my fingers every time I use the hot glue gun. So I don't know why. It would be a very good investment.
Living on the edge here. And if anybody's interested, because this blue and white paw print star fabric is one of my all-time favorites that we've ever used. You can get that one at Joann's. That's where we got it. There's some other fun ones too, like this little one with
I love that one. It's so cute.
Dogs and bones and stars, and that's so adorable as well. So yeah, there's lots. They're coming out with lots of really fun dog themed fabrics, it seems like, which is perfect for us.
Yeah, I find that Joann's has a lot. Like they have a really good selection.
Yeah.
For all kinds of holidays, and you can kind of find the holiday and the dog theming, which is not always that easy.
Right. Exactly. All right, it's getting cozier. I'm getting to the end. And then one of the things you want to make sure is to leave a space at the top pointy center of your heart. You're going to leave that empty. So it leaves space for the hanger that we're going to use later. The other thing I was doing is cutting my burlap a little bit shorter when you get into that pointy top area. Just so you get kind of that rounded heart shape with the burlap. If it gets too long, then sometimes you can lose that pointy angle. Yeah. So. The nice part is once you get these all glued in, you can trim them. You can trim them down.
So here's all the way around there.
Oh, cute.
And you can kind of fluff, because these are wired, you can kind of fluff them apart, which is nice. Once you get them all done.
And you'll do that with the fabric layer too.
Yep.
Okay, here's mine. All my little glue spider web
spider webs.
Yep. All right, looks cute. I love all the little burlap around it. It's adorable. So fun. You could leave it just like this, you know. Obviously, Hillary's got to dogify hers still,
Yep.
but I mean, if depending on what you're doing, you could leave like this. But we want to make it extra special, so we're going to add another layer of embellishment here, and that is coordinating fabric. So mine is the stars with red
And
background.
Mine, I'm
Hillary's
using the one that Patty's using
Yep.
for her main color.
Yep. So what you're going to do with that is you're going to cut little strips using the pinking shears again that are about 1 to 1.5 inches. Some of them can be fatter. In fact, it's kind of fun to do them in a little bit different sizes because it makes it look a little more rustic. If you want to be exact, that's totally fine too. But if you just kind of vary up the widths, it makes it a little more whimsical, right?
Yep.
And so these are going to be about 3 inches long, and then only one end gets the dovetail.
Yeah. They're kind of like little pennants. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's a good way to describe it. So then where we're going to put these is, let's see, where do I want to start? We're going to tuck these under the blue layer and glue them on top of the burlap layer. So you're going to tuck them, you're going to pull up the blue layer or the fabric layer, whichever Hillary's is red, and you're going to glue them to the edge of the burlap, like where that where it was folded over, where this is my fold. I'm just going to glue it right there. And then the blue layer will come on, will flop on top, and it'll poke out like that. So it'll be really, really cute. And you only need about 12, 13 of these little pennant flag things.
And you're just kind of sporadically, you don't have to make them super even or anything like that. You can just kind of, wherever you want a little pop of color is where you're tossing these in.
Exactly.
And I'm just, before I start gluing, I'm just kind of placing them everywhere. Just to.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. Just work my way around. And you can put a couple of them together. You know, you can do two together just to add a little more color in a certain spot. Really kind of fun.
It just, it really kind of brings it to life too.
And it doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. You know, you don't have to have 2 on one side at 3 o'clock so that 2 on the other side at 9 o'clock. You know, it can be, you can vary it up. It makes it a little more interesting that way.
I'm just going to jump on in and start gluing.
Okay, sounds good. I just got my last one placed, I think.
And we're also using this alternating fabric right in the center for our hanger. So right in that very middle part of the heart, you'll also have this alternating fabric.
Yeah. So leave a space at the top for the hanger.
Yeah.
And this part goes pretty quickly. Pretty easy.
I apologize for my sniffles. I'm still getting over a cold here.
I know. This one seems to like you more than others you've had. It's sticking around.
It's hanging around. I think it's partly allergies. So that's...
Yeah, well, it's definitely that time of year.
And this is where I was saying you could use ribbon as well on this kind of alternating pops of color.
Yeah. And that would work too, because it's nice. Especially if you get a wired ribbon, it'll be nice and spiky.
Yep.
I had some red starry looking ribbon, but the red was a really dark red color, and I wanted something a little brighter to pop for my accent
I had
color.
some really fun blue with little dogs and fireworks and things, but it was really wide. So I like the alternating the size too. So
yes, yeah. Well, and you could do that with ribbon too. If you had 2 different kinds of ribbon, right?
Yep.
You could do that.
So,
But, oh, cute. I only have one more to glue. Oh my gosh, the blue. That makes such a difference, doesn't that? Oh my gosh, it really adds so much.
And I think like as Patty was talking about, right here in this center part, I'll probably trim down these red pieces just a little bit to give it a little bit more of that shape, the heart shape that we're looking for.
Here's mine.
I love it.
And if they flop over, you can just add a little glue so that it sticks up, right? Yep. So, you know, you can zhuzh and kind of play with this a little bit more where it's kind of floppy. You can, so then the next, this pop of color. Oh my God. I'm just like,
it really does make a huge difference.
Makes
it come to life.
Oh, it's so cute. I really love these. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to zhuzh our little Hillary's red fabric, my blue fabric, kind of pull them apart, kind of give them a little extra oomph, a little character. So so you get to see more layers and folds and fun stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to trim down the ones at the top here. Real quick, just to give it a little more. That's the thing about a heart shape. You want to make sure it retains that.
Yeah, keep that shape.
So it doesn't turn into a circular wreath. So fun. And it's okay to see the back of the, you know, the layers of fabric as you're kind of zhuzhing and puffing it up. That adds to its rustic beauty. All right. Oh, this looks so cute. I love it. It's starting to get fun and spiky.
And this, it might be easier too, like once you get it placed, wherever you're going to hang it and things like that, you can kind of zhuzh it up too.
Right. Yeah. But just wanted to give you guys an idea of what it looks like when it's a little fuller, right? You can kind of see it makes it real fun and festive. And then the last step we're going to do is we're going to take that same ribbon that we used, that last layer, whatever you used on your last layer, get all my little hot glue goodness off of here. We're going to cut a strip or a ribbon that's 3 feet long. It sounds really long. You can always trim it down, but 2.5 to 3 feet. And we're going to, that empty spot at the top where the burlap layer is empty, we're going to tuck in under that little pointy spot. So let me show you again so you can see it better now. See that empty spot right there?
Yep.
We're going to tuck that in there and then pull up and just tie a knot. And this is why you need so much, because sometimes making that knot, you need a lot of fabric to wind around to get the knot part together. And pull tight.
Oh, so cute. I love that. You can also add a little dab of glue there if you need to.
Yeah, just to keep it in place. Yeah, it does. It's slippery. The wire is slippery with the fabric. Yeah. So that's actually a really good idea, because it'll slide from one side to the other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is adorable.
I just love how these turned out.
I do too. And I love the base technique, right? You could just use this rope technique with any other colors or fabrics or ribbons or whatever you have. It doesn't have to be these. But what a stunner, right? Like this just reminds me of fireworks and the 4th of July and celebrations and dogs and all that good stuff. All the things that we love.
All the great things.
All the things that we love. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us today. We're super happy to share all of these ideas. If you have new ideas, please feel free to share them with us. This is one big happy dog loving family, and we just are happy to share our love of crafts and having a fun time being a pet parent. It's fun to be a dog mom.
And if you guys end up making these, please share them, and wherever you want to share them, you can tag us, or We Heart Hounds anywhere. We would love to see how they turn out. It really does make our day to see what kind of crafts you guys come up with, and the sort of your take on whatever our inspiration was. So it's really fun.
It is. Thank you so much, everybody. We hope we've inspired you to get out there and have some fun this weekend. Take good care of yourself.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.